Another day, another Marvel Rivals video. Today's a little different video. I just wanted to talk about what characters I would like to see in Marvel Rivals, since they have a vast of choices of characters that they can choose from. This is just my personal list of some characters I would like to see. One character that I would love to see is Thanos. I mean, that's an obvious one, right? Maybe his ult can be the Infinity Stones. He snaps his fingers, or something. He would definitely be a tank. I mean, it was really surprising when they made Ultron a support. I thought he'd be DPS, but he can be a tank or a DPS maybe even. That would be pretty cool to see Thanos in this game, which I'm sure eventually they will. They have to. He's way too famous. Another character I would like to see would be Ant-Man. Ant-Man would be really cool. Now, some people say that, I have heard people say they want Ant-Man, and they say that his ult would be that he gets big. I think they should make his ult be small. Maybe he does a lot of damage and he's really tiny and hard to hit, but his health goes lower or something, That would be a cool ult with Ant-Man. Another character I would like to see would be Galactus. Galactus would be awesome. It would be so cool. And obviously, I think his ult would have to be is that he grows big. In games like Overwatch or any other like team-based shooter, I haven't really seen an ult where someone turns big. Marvel Rivals has some impressive ult designs, and I feel like Marvel Rivals would be a very good game to finally do an ult when someone turns big, like ginormous. So I think Galactus would be a very good choice to put in this game. I mean, these guys did say they want to put 2 characters or 1 character per season or 1 character per month or something like that, which is ridiculous. That's a lot of work, I feel, but that's what they said, something like that. This is just a personal one of mine. I would like to see Carnage. Carnage would be dope, right? Make him DPS, not a tank. I've tried to main Venom. This is just me, skill issue. I don't like Venom's damage, and his damage is with tentacles or something like that. I like to see Carnage as a character and him being DPS and actually doing more damage than Venom. Because I don't know, Venom's just weird. I don't know. I don't understand his playstyle. I mean, I know his playstyle, but I just can't do it, You know what would be a dope character though? Dr. Octopus. That would be very, very cool with his multiple tentacles. Or maybe even what's his name? Mysterio. Imagine Mysterio. He can be kind of like a Loki, but like a DPS type of Loki. Mysterio and Loki have like similar abilities. They're both tricksters and all that. Illusionists, kind of like that. But instead of having an illusionist as a support, maybe we can get Mysterio to be a DPS, which would be really dope. Maybe one of his ults can be that he gets people to see things or illusions or something like that. Again, these are all ideas, but I personally think Marvel Rivals has a very good ult designs and unique ults. I remember when this game came out, they thought that like every ult was just gonna be like from Overwatch, like Spider-Man's is like Reaper, Sigma's abilities is kind of like Magneto's. I thought Magneto plays like Sigma, but no, this game has very unique ults. Like Jeff's ult is pretty unique. He just eats everyone and you can like jump off with it. So I feel like a Mysterio ult where he like puts illusions would be really cool. Mysterio would be really, really cool. He's one of my most favorite villains of the Marvel universe. Another villain, and which by the way, this game needs more villains. What about Doctor Doom? I feel like, yeah, they are gonna put him, but when? I'd like to see Doctor Doom. That'd be really cool, which I'm sure they'll put. And honestly, just other characters that are kind of like the characters we have, but just like different people. Like if they put Killmonger, he would be like Black Panther, but maybe his moves are just different, Maybe he's a tank, maybe he's a support. Or maybe he is a DPS, but he just has different moves. Same thing with Iron Man, What if they put War Machine? He can be support or DPS or tank, but his moves are different. They can put like pretty much the same character, but they're different people, like Spider-Man or Spider-Gwen or something like that. Another character I'd like to see would be Deadpool. Deadpool would be dope. His ult has to be very unique, has to be very unique. Everyone loves Deadpool, but maybe an ult where he like, talks to the player or something, or maybe that's an ability, that's one of his abilities. He gets to break the 4th wall. I don't know. Deadpool would be a really cool character, which I think Deadpool got leaked, or there's an emblem of Deadpool. So that pretty much confirms Deadpool will be in there. Another character that would be cool would be Professor Xavier. That'd be pretty dope too, The limits of this game are pretty high. This game is pretty limitless of what characters they can put. Another thing that I had an idea with talking about characters was maybe they can make some sort of echo characters, kind of like Super Smash. I'll explain it really fast since if someone hasn't played Super Smash, I'm not sure if you guys know, but there's a game game called Super Smash for Nintendo. No, I'm just kidding. But pretty much for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, they made Echo characters. So like, let's say Samus, you know, she had an Echo character of Dark Samus, which was slightly different, but they had like different animations and different slight differences. But it was still relatively the same character, but it was a different character. What if Marvel Rivals does that so they won't have to like take so long to make, and they're not, by the way, taking long to take out characters. They're going really fast. But I'm just saying, if they want to save some time on work or something, maybe they could make Echo characters, like again, Iron Man to War Machine. Maybe War Machine has different abilities but just plays like Iron Man. You know, same thing with Spider-Man. What if Spider-Gwen is like, or Miles Morales? Sure, he plays like Spider-Man, but has just slight differences, you know? That would save a lot of time, and actually we'll get more characters out. Again, they're taking out characters in a very good pace. They're taking out content pretty good, but I'm just, you know, just some ideas so we can make the roster even bigger if that's their plan, to make the roster even really huge. But yeah, I was just like thinking about Super Smash. I'm like, hey, you know what? They did that. Like, what if Rivals or any other game, whatever, mostly Rivals though, copied that? I think that'd be a pretty cool thing to do. I haven't heard that idea anywhere, so that came from here, okay? At least give me the credit. Or if someone else thought about that idea, I don't know. Whatever. Anyways, this is a pretty short video. That's pretty much it for the video. This is just a random one. I don't know. This is I was gonna try to make this video into a top 10, but nah, I don't really want to be a top 10 guy. But I was just ranting. You know my videos, I just rant. But let me know in the comments, what characters would you guys want in this game? And also get crazy with it, you know? Tell me some abilities you would think they would have, or an ultimate they would have. Would they be support, DPS, or tank? Let me know in the comments. And I got other videos coming out soon, and I got videos right here. These are the type of videos I make. There's this one, and that one. I'll probably come out with a Switch 2 video. I didn't get my hands on a Switch 2, but I'm sure I can get my hands on one soon. I would like to make a Mario Kart video also. And what about that new Xbox Ally, huh? I might get one of those, I don't know. Anyways, that's it for the video. I will see you guys on the next one.